There was a young woman with quite a good fortune in silver and gold, and lots of young men came courting her, but she didn't fancy any of them. And then along comes this young fellow calling himself Mr. Fox, with nice red hair and lovely white teeth. Right young Osbert he was, but he had a tongue smoother than scalded cream. And this young girl, she liked him more than a bit. So when he asked her to meet him up at the Copse on Saturday night, she didn't say yes and she didn't say no. She thought she would go because she wanted to know more about him. And he was sure she'd go because he was so handsome and charming. Anyway, Saturday night she bedecks herself and she goes up to the Copse. But she goes up very early and she climbs up a big tree and waits to see what would happen. Well, soon Mr. Fox comes along, and he's come early, but he hasn't come by himself. And they both got spades, and they set out to dig a grave. And when they've done that, they take out knives, and they're waiting for her. And she can see their bushy tails peeping out under their coats. Well, her soul nearly failed her, and she almost fainted away to see how he turned out. But she was a spirited girl, and she stayed up in the tree, and in the morning she came down and went back home. The next day, Mr. Fox comes courting again, with his teeth all a-grin. But she tells him a riddle. She says, "Last Saturday night, when I was up high, I looked for one, but two came by. The boughs they did shake, my heart it did quake, to see the hole them two did make." Well, Mr. Fox stopped his grinning straight away, and he was out the window like a flash of fire. But she had told the hunt where he would be, and they were all out there waiting for him. I don't think he'll be courting any more rich young women. Oh, where was I last Saturday night? I was up in the ivy tree. False foxes under me, thinking to bury me under the ivy tree. The boughs they did shake, my heart it did quake, to see the hole they digged for me. But as for me, I was up in the tree, gold and silver and all the world's wealth. Who leaves a grave open must fill it himself. Oh, they creep it up in the dark of the moon. I was up in the ivy tree. They fell in the grave and they died soon. I was up in the ivy tree. The boughs they did shake, their necks they did break, all in the hole they digged for me. But as for me, I was up in the tree, gold and silver and all the world's wealth. Who leaves a grave open must fill it himself.